I was ostracized by the entire company for a year, and the entire department was laid off on the day I resigned. I smiled and handed in my resignation letter, and the whole office was stunned. Sister Jo took the piece of paper and blinked. "You want to leave?" "Yes." I nodded. Today is the last day. The people in the tea room looked at each other, unable to hide the gloating in their eyes. I saw it, but I didn't care, because I know something they don't. In 2 hours, they'll know. 1. When the HR stamp was put down, I heard Sister Jo whisper something behind me. I didn't hear it clearly, but I guessed the content. Probably something like, "Finally gone." "Ms. Lin, the resignation procedures have been completed here. HR Xiao Wang handed me the documents. Salary will be paid at the end of the month. Do you have any questions?" "No, thank you." I took the file and stood up. Not one of the more than 20 people in the office looked up at me. I don't need them to watch either. When I walked to my workstation, I started to pack my things. In fact, there is nothing to deal with. A water cup, a pot of pot hose, and a drawer for snacks. "Hey, Lin Yu, are you really leaving?" The voice came from the workstation next to him. It was Xiao Chen. She was the only person in the department who still wanted to talk to me, but only through words. She also goes to department dinners, but occasionally sends me, "Let's meet next time when we chat." Next time never came. Really? I put the pot hose into the bag. Found a new job? Which company? I smiled. "Keep it secret." Xiao Chen said, "Oh," and didn't ask again. She probably thought I was bragging. I don't explain. After packing my things, I carried the bag and walked out. I passed by Sister Jo's workstation. She was on the phone. She saw me passing by and didn't even raise her eyelids. Very good. Exactly the same as a year ago. A year ago, on the first day I was transferred to this department, she had the same expression. But at that time, she was still willing to pretend to be polite. "Xiao Lin, right? Welcome. We will be a family from now on." Family. When I walked out of the office, I couldn't help but laugh. The elevator door opened. I walked in and pressed the button for the first floor. There's still an hour left. In an hour, this family will know what retribution is. The elevator stopped at the ground floor, and I walked out, walked across the parking lot, and found my car. Putting the things in the trunk, I got into the driver's seat and left in no hurry. I turned on my phone and looked at the time. 10:23. Notices of layoffs are sent out in bulk at 11:30. I still have an hour, so I can wait. Actually, I can go. But I wanted to stay and see it with my own eyes. Not to see them suffer misfortune. It is to bring an end to this year. The phone vibrated, and it was a WeChat message. Sent by HR of the new company. "Ms. Lin, I will start the job next Monday. Please prepare relevant materials in advance." I replied, "Okay, thank you." I negotiated the new company 3 months ago. The salary has been increased by 40%, the rank has been upgraded by 1 level, and there are stock options. I could have left last month, but I didn't leave. I'm waiting for a date. That's it today. Why today? Because I know one thing. Today is the day when the company announces layoffs. Moreover, our entire department was cut. I knew about this 3 months ago. How do you know? It's a coincidence. One night 3 months ago, I worked overtime late. When I passed by the conference room, I heard 2 executives talking. They didn't close the door. I was just passing by, but when I heard a sentence, I stopped. "The business department. Let's cut it all off." The business department is our department. I stood at the door and listened for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is enough for me to hear everything clearly. First, the company needs to shrink its front line. The business department is a loss-making department and is ready to be abolished as a whole. Second, the layoff date is set for 3 months from now, which is today. Third, the compensation plan is N+1. N+1. I only had these 3 words in my mind at the time. N+1, based on my length of service and salary, I can get about 40,000 yuan. 40,000 yuan. I worked in this company for 3 years and was squeezed out for 1 year. In the end, it was worth 40,000 yuan. I kept quiet. I returned to my workstation, pretended not to hear anything, and continued to work overtime. But when I got home that night, I did one thing. I looked up labor laws. I discovered a very interesting thing. If I resign voluntarily, the company does not need to compensate me. But if I resign before the company announces layoffs, the company will often give me a negotiated severance package in order to make me cooperate with the resignation process. This compensation can reach up to N+6. N+6. In my case, it's about 280,000. The difference between 280,000 and 40,000 is a full 7 times. I laughed. Sister Jo and the others have been ostracizing me for a year and looking forward to my leaving every day. Okay, I'm leaving, but I have to choose the most suitable time to go. I want to submit my resignation the day before the company announces layoffs. In this way, in order to abolish the department as soon as possible, the company will definitely agree to negotiate severance compensation for me. And those who exclude me can only get N+1. This is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this day. I was waiting to see them dumbfounded. 2. The time on the phone screen jumped to 10:40. I leaned back in my seat and looked at the roof of the car, images of this year flashing through my mind. A year ago, I was transferred from the headquarters to the business department. I thought it was a good opportunity. The business department is the core department of the company, accounting for the highest proportion of revenue and the most resources. I thought that when I came here, I could learn something and move forward. As a result, on the first day, I noticed something was wrong. Sister Jo is a veteran employee of the department. She has worked here for 7 years and is the oldest. She is not the leader, but she talks better than the leader. Everyone in the department focuses on her. On the first day I came, she arranged a workstation for me in the corner next to the toilet. I can't help it. The position is tight. You should make do with it first. That's what she said at the time. I didn't say anything and sat down. Later, I discovered that there were several vacancies in the department. But those positions are left for future generations. I don't deserve it. In the first week, I took the initiative to add several colleagues' WeChat accounts, hoping to get involved. It turned out that they had a department group called the Happy Work Group. 23 people. I was the only one not in there. I asked Xiao Chun, and she hesitated and said, "That group was created a long time ago. You just came here, so you may not have added it yet." Later, I found out that I was recruited into that group on my first day of employment. Only I don't. The second week, the department held a weekly meeting, and I proposed a plan. It's about hierarchical customer management. I did a similar project when I was at the headquarters, and it worked very well. After I finished speaking, Sister Jill looked at me and said, "It's a good idea, but it may not be suitable for our situation." Then there is no more. 2 months later, I saw a winning proposal at a company-wide meeting. Plan name, Customer Hierarchical Management Optimization. Project leader, Sister Joe's team. The content is 80% similar to what I mentioned at the time. I was sitting in the last row, watching Sister Joe on the stage accepting the award with a smile, and my hands were shaking. I wanted to go over and question him, but I know it's useless. I have no proof. I only spoke orally and did not leave any written records. As for Sister Joe, she has a complete plan document, a record of the team's discussion, and the leader's signature and approval. I have nothing. When I got home that night, I cried. Not because the plan was stolen. It's because I discovered that in this place, I am nothing. No one listens to my voice, no one cares about my thoughts, and no one acknowledges my existence. I'm like a transparent person. No, it's worse than transparent man. At least transparent people will not be targeted. And I was the one targeted by everyone. Starting in the 3rd month, the exclusion became more obvious. I was never called during department dinners. One time I happened to pass by that restaurant and saw them through the glass in a private room, talking and laughing around a big round table. Sister Joe was sitting at the main seat, pouring wine for everyone. Xiao Chun was also there, with his head lowered, not knowing what he was laughing at. I stood outside and watched for 3 seconds, then turned around and left. On the way back, I sent Xiao Chun a WeChat message. "Why didn't you call me when you were having dinner?" It took half an hour for her to reply. It was just a spur of the moment. I will definitely call you next time. Next time. It's always next time. Another time, when I came back from going to the toilet, I passed by the tea room and heard someone talking inside. Why doesn't she leave? It's so shameless. It's just that I stay alone every day, like a monster. Sister Joe said that if she doesn't bear it any longer, she will leave when she can't stay any longer. I stood at the door, motionless. They didn't see me. I listened for 30 seconds, then turned around and went back to my workstation. That afternoon, I finished all my work without saying a word. When I got home at night, I lay on the bed, stared at the ceiling, and thought about a question. Why haven't I left yet? Because I don't want them to get what they want. They wanted to drive me away, but I refuse to leave. I will stay here and let them look at me every day and feel uncomfortable every day. This is what I was thinking at the time. Pretty childish, right? Later I figured it out. This approach hurts me the most. I stayed in that place every day, endured those white eyes and indifference every day, and consumed myself completely every day. What about them? When they should have dinner together, they should talk and laugh, but they didn't take me seriously at all. My persistence is just a joke to them. So later, I changed my strategy. I stopped trying to fit in with them. I no longer initiate conversations, no longer participate in any activities, and no longer smile at anyone. I go to work on time every day, get off work on time, finish my work, and then go home. I started sending out my resume and looking for a new job. I started studying, taking exams, and improving myself. I no longer waste my energy on them. I'm just waiting for an opportunity, a chance for me to leave. 3 months ago, I waited. 3. That night 3 months ago, after I left the door of the conference room, I did not go home directly. I sat in the convenience store downstairs of the company for 2 hours and thought everything through. First, the company is going to lay off employees, and our entire department will be laid off. This means that whether I leave or not, I will be laid off in 3 months. Second, if I am laid off, the compensation is N+1, which is 40,000. Third, if I resign voluntarily, there will be nothing. Fourth, if I choose a suitable time to resign, I can talk about N+6. What is the right time? The day before or the day the company announces layoffs. Why? Because at that time, the company most wanted employees to cooperate and was most willing to give benefits. Especially employees like me who have been marginalized and may cause trouble at any time. They wanted me to leave quickly to avoid getting into trouble during layoffs. As long as I propose to resign, they will definitely compensate me. Moreover, the faster it is given, the more at ease they feel. This is the power of information gaps. I knew they were going to lay off people. They didn't know that I knew. I know when the best time to leave is. They don't know I'm waiting. They thought I left just because I couldn't bear it any longer. They didn't know that I left only after I had calculated my days. After thinking about this, I did a few things. First, I started looking for a new job. Within 2 months, I had 3 offers. The best one will get a 40% salary increase, a 1-level promotion, and stock options. Second, I follow the latest news on layoffs. I pay attention to the trends of the company's senior management, changes in financial data, adjustments to business departments. I pay attention every day. I want to make sure that the information I have is accurate. Third, I continued to act like I didn't know anything. I go to work every day, and endure the glares from Sister Jo and others every day. I even deliberately acted more depressed to make them think I couldn't hold on anymore. Sister Jo once said in the tea room, looking at her like that, she will probably leave on her own soon. Let's just bear with it. I heard it. I thought to myself, okay, you can bear with it. I can bear it better than you. 3 months have passed. Last night, I received internal news. Layoff notices were sent out at 11:30 this morning. I know the time has come. This morning, I arrived at the company early. At 9 o'clock sharp, I walked into the HR office and handed in my resignation letter. HR was stunned for a moment. Ms. Lin, do you want to resign? Right. Can I ask the reason? Personal reasons. HR glanced at me and hesitated to speak. She should know about the layoffs. But she doesn't know that I know. Ms. Lin, if you resign yourself, the company will not compensate you. I know. I smiled, but I don't want to wait until I'm laid off before I leave. It would be too ugly. HR was stunned again. She probably didn't expect me to be so straightforward. However, I changed the topic. I hope the company can give me some severance compensation. After all, I have worked here for 3 years, and the last year was not very pleasant. HR's expression changed. She understands what I mean. I'm implying that if you don't compensate me, I might cause trouble. At this juncture, the last thing the company wants is for someone to cause trouble. Let's do this, HR said. I'll go communicate with the leader. Please wait a moment. She was out for 10 minutes. When he came back, he said with a smile on his face, Ms. Lin, the company is willing to give you N+6 compensation. Do you think it is okay? N+6. 280,000. I nodded. Okay. Just like that, it took me 10 minutes to get what I deserved. Then I returned to my workstation and started packing my things. Sister Jo and the others don't know anything yet. They thought I left because I couldn't bear it anymore. They thought they had won. 25 minutes past 11. I sat in my car, staring at my phone screen. 5 minutes to go. 11:26. 11:27. 11:28. I opened the company's internal communication software and saw that the group was still silent. 11:29. My heart starts to beat faster. It's not nervousness, it's anticipation. 11:30. The phone dinged. An email popped up. Title: Notice on the adjustment of the company's organizational structure. I clicked on the email. The content was very long, but the core was only one sentence. After the company's research and decision, the business department will be canceled as a whole at the end of this month, and the employees involved will be compensated according to the N+1 standard. N+1. 40,000 yuan. I laughed. Then I opened the company's work group. The group has exploded. What's going on? The business department will be laid off completely? N+1. That's it. I've been working for 5 years. Just give me 50,000. Where's Sister Jo? Sister Jo, say something. I scrolled up and found Sister Jo's speech. Don't worry, everyone. I'll ask the leader. Then there is no more. 5 minutes passed, and Sister Jo said no more. There are more and more messages in the group, and it is becoming more and more chaotic. Someone scolded the company. Someone scolded the leader. Someone asked what to do. Some people said they should go to the labor bureau. I looked at the messages one by one. Then I saw a private message sent to me. It was made by Xiao Chun. Lin Yu, did you know? The company has laid off employees. I didn't reply. Another one. Didn't you resign today? How much compensation did you receive? I still didn't reply. I put down the phone, started the car, and drove out of the parking lot. The sun is shining brightly, and the sky is blue. I rolled down the window and took a deep breath. The feeling of freedom is so good. But it's not over yet. Because I know that soon they will come to me. They will remember that I left my job this morning. They would start to wonder if I already knew something. They would come and ask me how I got so much compensation. When the time comes, I will tell them the truth. I would tell them that I knew about the layoffs 3 months ago. I will tell them that I have been waiting for this day. I would tell them that they squeezed me out for a year, only to watch me take the most money in the end. I want them to know who is the final winner. This is not revenge. That's fair. 5. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I got home. As soon as I walked in, my phone rang. It's Sister Jo's phone number. I looked at the name on the screen, hesitated for 3 seconds, and pressed the answer button. Hello. Lin Yu. Sister Jo's voice was a little anxious. Did you resign today? Right. Do you know that the company is going to lay off employees? I didn't answer. You must know. Sister Jo's voice suddenly became sharp. How do you know? Why didn't you tell us? I couldn't help but laugh. Sister Jo, why should I tell you? There was silence on the other end of the phone. You know very well how you have treated me this year. My voice was very calm. You never called me for department dinners. You stole my plan. My workstation is next to the toilet. You speak ill of me behind my back every day. Now that something happened, you asked me why I didn't tell you? I paused and said, Sister Jo, do you think I owe you anything? There was no sound on the other end of the phone. I continued. Let me tell you, I knew about the layoffs 3 months ago. I deliberately waited until today to leave my job, just to get N+6. N+6. Sister Jo's voice changed. Did you take N+6? Yes, 280,000. Why? Why did you take so much? I'm smart, I said. I know when to leave. Sister Jo's rapid breathing came from the other end of the phone. Lin you're going too far. You knew clearly that you were going to lay off people. Why didn't you tell us? Let's go talk together and get N+6 together, okay? I laughed. Sister Zhou, when you said this, have you ever thought about why you didn't bring me with you when you excluded me? Why didn't you invite me when you had dinner together? When you stole my plan, why didn't you give me some credit? That's different. What's the difference? My voice became colder. You can exclude me, but I can't help you, right? Sister Zhou was speechless. Sister Zhou, let me give you a message. I said, the workplace is not a place to make friends. Don't be too glassy. This sentence was what she said to me at the beginning. Now I give it back to her. I hung up the phone. The phone rang again. This time it's Xiao Chun. I didn't answer. It rang again. Still Xiao Chun. I still didn't answer. WeChat pop-up message. Lin Yu, please help me. I don't want to just take 40,000 yuan. How did you talk about N+6? Can you teach me? I know I'm sorry for you before, but I really can't help it, Sister Zhou. I looked at the messages one by one. Then I silenced my phone. 6. The next day, I received a dozen WeChat messages. They were all sent by people from the department. Some asked me for help. Sister Lin Yu, can you talk to HR and let us also get N+6? Sister Yu, which company are you in now? Can you give me a referral? Some questioned me. Why do you take so much? We are all N+1. You are the only one special. Did you snitch? Did you sell us out? Some threatened me. If you don't help me, I will report you to the company and say that you leaked the news of layoffs in advance. I looked at these messages and found them ridiculous. These people never stood up and said a word when I was being ostracized. Now that something happens, the first thing that comes to mind is asking me for help. Why? Just because I'm easier to bully than them? I replied one by one. Can't help. I don't know. You go and report it. Then I blocked them all, including Xiao Chun. In fact, Xiao Chun is the best person to me. At least she's still willing to talk to me. But she is still willing to talk to me and is not worthy of my help. She chose to remain silent when I was ostracized. Now I also choose to remain silent. That's fair enough. In the afternoon, Sister Zhou called again. This time, I just hung up. She sent a WeChat message. Lin Yu, don't be too heartless. We are all colleagues. We can't see each other until we look up. I replied, I won't see you again. Then he blocked her too. In the evening, I went out to have a hot pot meal alone. I ordered a Mandarin duck pot and ate it for 2 hours by myself. At the end of the meal, I realized one thing. This is the first time I have eaten hot pot alone in the 3 years I have been in the city. I always felt that eating hot pot alone was pitiful. But now I find that eating hot pot alone is quite good. No one will compete with you for beef. No one will be around to tell you you ate too much. No one will suddenly tell you to leave when you are halfway through your meal. A person is very free. I picked up a piece of tripe, dipped it in the oil dish, and put it in my mouth. Very tasty. 7. A week later, I received a call from an unknown number. Hello, are you Lin Yu? I'm Manager Lee from your old department. Manager Lee. I remembered that he is Sister Zhou's direct leader and also my nominal leader. This year, his attitude towards me was as if I didn't exist. They didn't call me during meetings, ignored me when assigning work, and gave me the lowest score during the year-end evaluation. He said, your performance this year is average, so try harder. I work so hard. Manager Lee, what's the matter? That's right, his tone was a little polite. The company wants to talk to you. What to talk about? It's just what happened on the day you resigned. I was stunned for a moment. What's the matter? I heard that you received N+6 compensation. Manager Lee's voice lowered a little. Someone in the company raised questions, saying that you may have known about the layoffs in advance. My heart skipped a beat, but on the surface I was calm. I don't know what you're talking about. Lin Yu, I don't want to embarrass you. Manager Lee sighed, but you also know that many people in the department have opinions and feel that you. What do you think of me? I think you took money that you shouldn't have taken. I laughed. Manager Lee, let me ask you a question. You say, my negotiated severance compensation was negotiated with me by HR. The process was formal and I signed the agreement, right? Yes, but that's what the company is willing to give. I interrupted him. The company is willing to give it and I am willing to take it. Is there any problem with that? The problem is that you may have known the news in advance. What news do I know? My voice became a little cold. Manager Lee, do you have any evidence? There was silence on the other end of the phone. If there is no evidence, you are making a false accusation. I said, I can sue you for defamation. Did you know that? Lin Yu, don't get excited. I'm not excited. I took a deep breath. Manager Lee, let me say it again. My resignation is a normal process and the compensation is what the company is willing to give. What do you mean by questioning me now? Do you think you paid too much and do you want me to refund my money? No, just what? You just think I'm easy to bully and you think it's easiest to cause trouble for me, right? There was complete silence on the other end of the phone. Manager Lee, listen carefully. My voice was calm and cold. I remember how your department treated me this year. Now you come to find fault with me. I'm not surprised at all. Lin Yu. But let me tell you, I'm not that easy to bully. I said, if you dare to continue to cause trouble for me, I will reveal everything that happened this year. The matter of Sister Zhou stealing my plan, the matter of you giving me the lowest score, and the matter of you ostracizing me. I will post them all online so that everyone can see what kind of virtue your department is. I paused and asked, do you think the company will protect you or its own reputation? On the other end of the phone, Manager Lee's breathing could be heard clearly. After a while, he said, "Linyu, you have changed." "No," I said. "I haven't changed. I just stopped pretending." I hung up the phone. Then this number was also blocked. 8. 2 weeks later, I officially joined the new company. The new company is located in an office building in the city center. The office is spacious and bright, and the colleagues are very friendly. On my first day of employment, HR took me around and introduced each department to me. "This is Linyu, our new product manager. Please take care of me in the future." Everyone smiled and said hello to me, and no one looked at me like I was a transparent person. My workstation is by the window, and the sunlight can shine in directly. Not next to the toilet. Not in the utility room. It's by the window, in a sunny place. I sat down, turned on the computer, and started to get familiar with the work. In the afternoon, the department held a brief welcome meeting, and everyone introduced themselves. Finally, the department leader said, "We managed to recruit Linyu. Everyone must cooperate well and try to help her adapt as soon as possible." I looked at him and remembered what Manager Lee said to me. "Your performance this year is average." The gap is too big. The same leader, the same new employee, the treatment is completely different. It's not because I have changed. It's because the environment has changed. The place I used to stay in was a terrible place. After get off work, I walked out of the office building and stood on the roadside to take a taxi. The phone rang, and it was an unknown number. I answered. "Hello. Linyu." It was a woman's voice, a bit familiar, but I couldn't remember who it was. "I'm Sister Zhou." I was stunned for a moment and said nothing. "You blocked me. I made the call from someone else's phone." Sister Zhou's voice was a little hoarse. "I want to ask you something." "What's up?" "I don't want the N+1 given by the company. I want to get N+6 like you." I couldn't help but laugh. "Sister Zhou, what are you talking about?" "I want you to help me." Sister Zhou's voice was a little crying. "You tell HR and tell me that I can negotiate my resignation and ask them to give me N+6. Sister Zhou, I interrupted her. "Do you know why I got N+6? "Why?" "Because I made the right choice at the right time." I said, "And you didn't." Then you teach me. What else can I do now?" "You can't do anything." My voice was calm. "The layoff notice has been sent out and the plan has been decided. N+1 is N+1 and you can't change it." "But..." Sister Zhou, listen to me. I took a deep breath. "You have marginalized me for a year, robbed me of my plans, isolated me, and said bad things about me behind my back. Now something happens to you, and you come to me for help. Linyu, I know I was wrong." "You don't know," I said. "You're just scared." There were sobs on the other end of the phone. "Do you think I will help you if you apologize?" I said, "Sister Zhou, let me tell you, you owe me what you owe me, and your apology is not enough." Then what do you need to do to help me?" "I won't help." I said, "It's not your problem. It's just that I don't want to help." I paused. "When you excluded me, did you think about today?" There was silence on the other end of the phone for a long time. "Linyu," Sister Zhou's voice became a little harsh. "Don't be too proud. Do you think you won? You're just lucky." "Then consider me lucky." I said, "At least my luck is better than yours." I hung up the phone. Then the number was blocked. 9. A month later, I received Xiao Chen's WeChat message. She changed her account and added me as a friend. I hesitated and passed. "Linyu, long time no see." "Haven't seen you for a long time." I found a new job and would like to treat you to a meal. Thank you." I was stunned for a moment. "Thank me for what?" "Thank you for not exposing our department's affairs online." Xiao Chen sent an emoticon. "I know you have a lot of information in your hands. The matter of Sister Zhou stealing your plan. The matter of Manager Lee giving you a low score. If you publish it, we will all be screwed." I looked at the message and was silent for a few seconds. "I didn't post it, not because of you." I replied, "Because I'm too lazy to have anything to do with you anymore." "I know." Xiao Chen replied, "But anyway, thank you." I thought about it and asked, "How is the new job you found?" "It's not bad. It's a small company. The salary is lower than before, but it's clean." Xiao Chen sent a wry smile. "I don't dare to follow others and exclude others anymore, really." When I looked at the sentence, I suddenly felt a little complicated. Is Xiao Chen the most innocent one among that group of people? No. She also participated in the dinner, did not include me in the group, and was silent in the tea room. But at least she was willing to say a few words to me. "Xiao Chen," I typed a few words and deleted them. "What's wrong?" "It's nothing." I finally replied, "I won't eat anymore. Just work hard." "Good." I exited the chat interface. After a while, Xiao Chen sent another message. "Linyu, I want to ask you something." "What?" Did you already know that there were going to be layoffs that day?" I looked at this question, thought about it, and replied. "What do you think?" Xiao Chen did not reply. But I know she already has the answer in her heart. Everyone has a choice. Sister Zhou chose to exclude me, Manager Lee chose to ignore me, and Xiao Chen chose to remain silent. And I chose to protect myself. My choice allowed me to get the most compensation at the last moment. Their choice allowed them to receive only the minimum compensation. This is cause and effect. 10. 3 months later, I was firmly established in the new company. The first project I was responsible for went online, and the data was very good. The leader praised me by name at the weekly meeting. Linyu's plan is very professional, with clear ideas and powerful execution. You can learn more from her. I smiled and said thank you, feeling very calm. I had never heard this sentence before in my previous company. It's not because I'm incompetent. It's because they don't want to see my ability. After get off work, I bought a cup of milk tea downstairs in the company and drank it while walking. When I walked to the subway station, I saw a familiar figure. Sister Jo. She stood at the door of the subway station, looking down at her mobile phone, with a bad look on her face. I stopped and looked at her for a few seconds. She was still the same as she was 3 months ago, but she looked more haggard. She didn't see me. I turned around and walked in the other direction. On the way home, I received a push message. It was a post on a workplace forum with the title, "I was excluded for a year and the entire department was laid off on the day I resigned. How did I get N+6?" I clicked in and found that someone had forwarded my story. I didn't write it. It was something I said casually in a small group before, and someone took a screenshot and posted it. The comment section is lively. It's great. This is the real master of the workplace. Sister is so cool. I've learned what I've learned, and I'll pay attention to the company's news in the future. Ask me, how did she know about the layoffs? I want to learn too. I looked at it for a while and closed the post with a smile. In fact, there is nothing to learn. I just did a very simple thing. When others don't take me seriously, I take myself seriously. When others excluded me, I didn't waste time trying to please them. When I learned the news, I chose the option that was best for me. This is not a clever method. It is just normal self-protection. It's just that many people, after being bullied for a long time, forget how to protect themselves. I haven't forgotten. 11. Half a year later, I was promoted. From product manager, he was promoted to senior product manager. The salary has increased by 30%, and I have my own small team. On my first day on the job, I held a meeting with my team members. My name is Lin Yu, and I am your new leader. I said, I have only one request. Our team should not engage in cliques. What do you mean? Someone asked. It means that if we have any issues, we should tell them face to face. We will not talk behind our backs, form cliques, or exclude anyone. I looked them in the eyes and said, if anyone can't do it, you can bring it up now, and I'll help you change departments. No one spoke. Okay, that's it. I smiled. Let's get to work. This is the kind of work environment I want. There are no backstabbing, no cliques, and no inexplicable exclusion. Everyone is here to work, not to fight in the palace. Of course, I don't know if this team will change in the future. But at least now, I can try to make it the way I want it to be. What if it can't be done? Then go again. Anyway, I have learned how to protect myself. After get off work, I received a WeChat message. It was made by Xiao Chun. Lin Yu, let me tell you some news. Sister Jo has found a job. I replied, oh. It's a small company and the salesperson's salary is only half of what it was before. Xiao Chun sent a sighing expression. She also posted a message on WeChat a few days ago saying, thank you for the hardships that allowed her to grow. I looked at the message and was silent for a few seconds. Then the reply, wish her good luck. Aren't you angry? Xiao Chun asked, she used to treat you like this. Don't be angry. I said, her life is her own and has nothing to do with me. I put down my phone and looked at the night view outside the window. This year, a lot happened. I have been squeezed out, had plans stolen, been isolated and ignored. But finally, I came out. It's not because I'm better than them. It's because I made the right choice at the right time. That's enough. 12. 1 year later, I'm sitting in my new office, finishing up the last files and getting ready to leave the office. Today is the 1 year anniversary of my joining this company. 1 year ago today, I was still in the parking lot of my old company, waiting to see the reaction of the group of people who received the layoff notice. Today, 1 year later, I am already a senior product manager leading a team. The phone rang. It was a WeChat message. I opened it and saw that a stranger had added me as a friend. Note, former colleague. I passed. Hello, I am Zhang Lin from the former business department. I wonder if you still remember me. Zhang Lin. I thought about it and got a bit of an impression. She was the quietest one in the department, barely spoke to me, and never participated in ostracizing me. But she didn't help me either. Remember what happened? I want to say thank you. Zhang Lin sent a long message. When Sister Jo and others excluded you, I kept silent. I know I was also wrong. Then you left and took so much compensation, and I realized how smart you were. I said nothing. I am now working in a startup company, making products. Zhang Lin continued, I have always wanted to tell you that you are the most powerful person I have ever met. I'm not great, I replied. I just did what I had to do. That's pretty awesome. Zhang Lin sent an admiring expression. Most people are ostracized and just endure it, cry, or leave. You are the only one I have ever seen who can make a fortune while leaving. I laughed. Zhang Lin, let me give you a message. I typed, no one will always help you in the workplace. The only one you can rely on is yourself. I know, Zhang Lin replied, so I have been working hard to make myself stronger. That's enough. I said, come on. I put down the phone, stood up, and walked to the window. Outside the window is the night view of the city, with bright lights and constant traffic. I thought of myself a year ago, sitting alone in the parking lot, waiting to see the group of people unlucky. At that time, I felt that was the most relaxing moment for me. But now I find that what really makes me relieved is not watching them suffer misfortune. It's me who is getting better and better. When I get a promotion and a salary increase, lead a team, and do the job I like, the things they did to exclude me will no longer matter. I don't need their apology. I don't need to see their misery. I just need to live my life well. This is the best revenge. I picked up my bag, turned off the light, and walked out of the office. Tomorrow is the weekend, and I have invited friends to have hot pot. This time, I'm not eating alone. But I know that I can enjoy eating even if I am alone. Because I have learned how to love myself well. The most important thing this year has taught me, you can't control what others do to you. But what you do to yourself is up to you. I choose to be kind to myself. Always.